welcome on out to another edition of the Living Deadwax podcast. I am your host, Ty, joined by my co-host, Tyler. And we're back for another fun night talking about music. Tyler, how are you doing, my friend?
I'm doing fantastic, my brother. Fantastic. We have a better show before this than we have recording.
Lies. That was meandering, wrestling to YouTube drama to sports, baseball. As
if we get to 500 subs this year, I'll say this to our dedicated fan base of viewers, our dozens
2024. 2024. We're not
2024.
Yeah.
Okay, but 2024, I believe. I want to do it 500 subs. We will officially start a feud.
Okay. Yeah, I like that.
500 subs. We'll start a feud. I don't know with who. But if you're gonna come for somebody, come to the top. So Russell Bios, looking at you.
It's with a wrestling YouTuber. I thought in the music sphere.
Oh,
like SOT. Start a feud with Pete.
Okay. Also, that's true.
Just like it seems like just a nice chill old dude, like just starting a feud with him.
Yeah. No, Ron Beaudry, the best old Canadian guy, coming for you. Coming for you, my friend. Yeah. Because you know why?
Rick Beata,
Canadian.
That guy's fucking famous. Really big.
That guy interviews a lot of people. So
yeah, we'll start a feud with him.
Start a feud with him. I think our best bet though is like
Brendan.
Dipshit hippie.
Dipshit hippie.
Yeah. Remember that guy?
Yes, I remember that guy. I do remember that guy.
Or Sack Blabbeth.
That guy stopped posting. Can't start a feud with somebody who doesn't exist anymore.
Because you know why they don't post anymore?
He's either
dead or in jail. Okay, those are the two things that are happening.
Or both, or they both happened.
Or they, hopefully in a certain order. But we'll start a feud at 500 subs. I like that.
I like that. So hit the sub button, that way we can start a feud. Hit the like button, comment down below. We're going to start off with an opening question. You can leave your opening questions down below as well. Maybe we'll use them on a future episode. Tonight, I was browsing some pictures, and I was just like, it was came up in a subreddit, and I'm like, yeah, that's a good. Let's do that. Let's do this. So we're gonna rank the big four, okay? But we're gonna rank on attractiveness.
Oh, done.
So we're gonna rank them on attractiveness, classic era, not now, not 90s, the classic lineup, and the classic era. So now hold on, don't rank yet. We're gonna start with Metallica.
Okay.
Classic era. This is Master of Puppets Metallica. Where do you put Metallica on attractiveness?
This is the picture you put, by the way, or you chose. That's very
I mean, I can choose other ones. They got a lot of great pictures from this era.
They do a lot of good pictures. All right. So can I adjust?
What do you mean?
Like if I say they're 3, can I adjust it once I get the bearings of everybody?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna do so. Here's the thing: is so this Cliff is obviously not doing great. Okay.
Yeah.
I will say this: he's probably got the biggest hammer on him. I will say that.
Out of Metallica or the entire Big Four?
No, Metallica.
Okay, maybe.
Yeah, he's got the biggest hammer. I think acne-faced James Hetfield. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think Kurt and Lars can be little cutie boys.
That's all small.
That's what she said.
They're
little cutie boys. So half and half.
Very twinky.
There you go. Very twinky. Also in these pictures, Kurt and Lars are the same size.
Kirk and Lars, yeah.
They're Kirk, yeah.
Kurt. You said Kurt.
Yeah, Kurt
Hammett.
Kurt Hammock. I was gonna say Hamrick. Daniel Hemrick in my brain right now.
Wow. Right. Yeah, they're very small men. They're both small. I mean, children here, basically.
That's true.
So you're gonna where are you putting Metallica?
I'm putting 3. I'll go 3 because
Okay,
I can't spend this much time on everybody. But
no, yeah, solid 4, solid at the bar. I think
last.
Metallica is easily the ugliest band. And I'm
Okay.
not now we're ranking, and these are all because all these bands were in their prime around the same time. So I'm not like doing anything like, oh well, they got better looking as they got older or whatever. No, we're ranking the classic eras. Okay, so we'll move on to Megadeth.
See,
Classic lineup, rest in peace lineup. This is 90, so a little after Master of Puppets lineup, but
yeah. Okay, give me. All right.
Let's get a bigger one here.
All right, so Nick, Dave, and Marty.
Yeah, classic rest in peace. Yeah.
Okay. So in these photos, like Dave Mustaine is the ugliest.
There we go. Yeah, Dave is definitely the most unattractive man of the band at this point.
Yeah.
But he's not bad.
4 ain't bad.
He's actually not bad though.
Yeah, that's fair.
Like Dave always had better hair than any Metallica member. He was always more in shape too.
That's true. Heroin will do it to you.
Also, like he did fucking like karate and shit. So
jiu-jitsu and whatnot. Yeah. Oh, I know a guy that used to roll with him.
You know a person like know him personally?
Well, he's in the Manchester little bubble. Yeah, I talked to him.
Wow.
Dave used to roll with Dave, and he said that he's a cool dude and a very humble guy. Said that.
I like that.
There you go.
Not many people have said that about Dave Mustaine ever, so I like that. Very humble.
Not at all. Yeah, very humble guy. Okay. So, yeah, I don't think Dave's bad. He's just uglier than everybody else. I'm going number 1 on Megadeth.
Oh, easily number 1, bro.
Yeah.
Look at Ellefson here.
No, Ellefson's beautiful. He's beautiful.
Could be in Poison right now.
Okay. He's too tall for Poison.
Yeah, very true. Too manly.
Way too manly.
Yeah, I mean Marty and Nick look like brothers here.
Yeah.
And then Dave, the stern
got somebody
leader.
for everybody too. Got brunettes and blondes, so something for everybody.
Yeah, I mean Dave's a ginger, so like back in the day.
That's true.
Yeah,
that's true. Fair.
He kind of got more blonde as it went along, but yeah, Megadeth's easily number 1 for me too. I put Metallica at 4. Let's go on to our boys in Slayer.
Okay, so this is rough.
This is 88. This is a South of Heaven promo.
Yeah. Because I just think that they just look like dads now. All of them. They're all just dads.
Not doing
now. I know. But like that's the rough thing is like
if you rank it now, you might even put Metallica at 1 just because they're the richest, so they've been able to maintain.
100%. 100%. Yeah, I don't know. I think Tom's good looking. I think Tom's good looking here too. I think he's a good looking dude.
Yeah.
Plus he's Chilean, so he's got a little spice to him, you know?
Yeah. Well, I think Carrie had good hair for a while until he didn't.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess it gave up on him pretty quick, right? But fucking Lombardo is too small.
I don't know. I think girls probably like Dave too, or guys.
So?
Whatever you're into. Okay. A lot of gay Slayer fans out there.
A lot there. Let me tell you.
Very large contingent.
The gay community. I don't know. I think okay. So Jeff's the ugliest, right? R.I.P. Sorry, Jeff.
Yeah, especially like this era. I mean, Jeff was always the ugliest. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, he's a white dude. He's a basic ass white dude.
Yeah.
So like, there's no flavor to him. But so I think Carrie's a good looking dude, even with his hair. This is when his hair started to go.
Like right here. Yeah, it's pretty. Yeah.
It's getting where it's at. Yeah, I think if I was ranking the boys in Slayer, I might go Carrie, Tom, Carrie, maybe Dave, and Jeff. But I'll do a solid. I'll do it. I have to do 2. I got to do 2 on that because I know who my 4th one is.
Oh, you're doing Anthrax 4 then.
100 today. Anthrax. I think they're all pretty good looking dudes. But this Anthrax is ugly, nasty. Because Scott's got all the hair going on, and everything's not good.
Yeah, I'm gonna put Slayer at 2, solid 2, and then we got Anthrax coming up here.
Yeah,
nice little promo. This is 82. So that's not 82.
They also stink. You know
It's not even close to 82. I don't think Joey was in the band in 82. When the first record came out, like 85 or some shit, or 84.
It was just after Kill 'Em All.
82.
It's 83.
Okay, but it's not 82. Joey wasn't in the band in 82. Either way. This is 81.
What are we doing?
I don't know. I'm confused.
That's not 81.
No. I'm gonna put Anthrax at a solid 3. Like Metallica's easily the ugliest here.
Click that picture right there.
Which one? This one?
One over. Yeah.
This is like 90s. This is John Bush.
No. The one to the left of that one.
This one?
With Joey in the middle. Yeah.
Okay.
Like, if we're like, it's the same look. Yeah, they're all ugly. Like,
Scott's fine.
Scott has shitty hair here. He doesn't have a bald head. Scott's a bald dude. Like, when he had hair, it was always gross. It was worse than Carrie's. It was always worse than Carrie's and worse than anybody's.
Okay.
I think Scott's a good looking dude now. Okay. But like the eyebrows are too gnarly. Like, he's all bald and shit. It looks like garbage. Oh.
Get George Clooney over here. All bald and shit. Looks like garbage. Here's a recent photo.
Yeah, no, now I actually think they're all good looking dudes now.
Oh wow. All right. Even Joey, huh?
Yeah, less so though.
No.
Less so, Joey.
Wow.
I'm sorry.
So where are you putting Anthrax? You're putting Anthrax at 3?
4th. I'm putting 4th.
Oh, 4th. Okay.
I got Megadeth, Slayer, Metallica, Anthrax. Yeah.
You know what's funny? Because that's actually my actual ranking. Megadeth, Slayer. Like my ranking if I'm ranking these bands.
Oh,
like
okay.
For music, it's Megadeth, Slayer, Metallica, Anthrax.
Okay.
But I'm putting Anthrax above Metallica. You can't tell me these dudes are uglier than fucking prime Master Puppets Metallica, bro. These guys are fucking rough.
Why can't we do
look like babies?
These guys are rough.
I mean, Cliff looks like their fucking weird uncle.
He looks like Richard Ramirez, you know.
Yeah, Night Stalker. Well, I'm looking at way too butch. Yeah, it's James.
Does Kirk have no teeth?
What are you talking about? Clearly teeth there.
Yeah, but he looks like he has like missing. Like got some teeth. You got some there, some not.
Nah, there's teeth there.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, you're picking the shittiest photos of them, okay? They have many swimsuit photos.
They've got great photos from this era?
Yeah, they do.
Okay.
Jason does bring up the attractiveness in the band.
That's probably like their best picture I've clicked on so far.
That definitely is.
Yeah, no, Jason adds to it. If Jason was here, I'd maybe make the argument that they're better than Anthrax, but I'm not. We're not doing Jason era.
That's a shitty Jason too, right there. That's like first week Jason.
Which
the one on the bottom there. Oh, never mind. I thought lied to you.
Yeah, this is Black
I would there. Yeah. Okay.
That's the mullet Lars.
The bad Lars. That is a bad Lars.
Yeah. James gets better.
Oh, fine wine.
Yeah.
Fine wine on James. Also, I'm pretty sure he's the only one that's had work done.
I don't know, man. Maybe.
Like, if I was Lars, I would have got goddamn hair transplants about 25 years ago when it first started going. I'd have been the first. First on the list. How is Kirk still like looking like Kirk Hammett forever?
Yeah, I mean he's aged pretty well.
He's the devil guy. He's the actual Satan worshiper. He's the guy he's got it all, man. He's got his health. He surfs all the time and shit still, and he looks the best, and he has his hair. It's pretty good.
Yeah. All right, that's fun. That was a good ranking.
Yeah.
Like I said, you can leave your opening questions down below, and maybe we'll use them in a future topic. And tonight we're going to talk about albums that we'd love to hear live in their entirety. I know this topic is kind of controversial. I know some people love it and some people do not like it.
That's weird to me. I don't understand that. Yeah. Because like even if I saw a band and they were doing a record that I wasn't really a big fan of necessarily, I still love the band so much that I'd still go to the show. And I would still want to hear some of those songs, at least a couple of the 12 songs or 11 songs, whatever, right? I want to hear a couple of them. It's still cool to see the band, and plus they're playing 5 other ones after. So like to be completely against it, like it's pretty crazy. Also, because it's usually a once in a lifetime thing. Like they're not gonna keep running this out there, more than likely.
You'd think so, yeah. I think some people just get kind of tired of it because it happens a lot. Like a lot of bands do it now. And it's
what was the first one that you saw?
I think the first one I ever saw was probably the Megadeth Slayer show. That was the Rust in Peace and Seasons in the Abyss.
Yeah,
tour, which is sick.
Yeah.
I just think some people like that spontaneity too. Like if they don't want to get spoiled on the set list. Like if they're not on Setlist FM, like, well, what are they playing? I don't really care about that. I like kind of knowing what I'm getting into.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that's part of it. I think that's probably why some people have an issue with it, just the spontaneity of it. I know some bands have a big issue with it, and I'll talk about some of them. That would probably never do it. But
the biggest bands in the world won't do it.
Very true, yeah. So you're clearly a fan of the album tours.
Oh yeah. I have this next year, I think I'm going to 3. So
gotcha.
Like, yeah, I love this shit because it's like so many, especially bands that like we love, a lot of them at a certain point, like bands when their first record, they'll play all basically the whole record because they have to at some point or another, right?
Sure, yeah.
But as a band gets later on in their career, they have more songs to choose from. So a lot of those songs for records that, that are coming up here have never been played live ever. So like it's really cool to see them, dust off the never been done songs, right? Because like for Jimmy Eat World, there were like 5 of them for Futures when I saw that tour they had never done before. So it was cool to see those done live at all.
Yeah. That does add a cool factor to it. I would say a knock against it is like bands with their classic albums, they probably play a majority of the album anyway. Like if Guns N' Roses ever does an Appetite for Destruction tour, like just stop what you're doing. Because you play for 3 hours anyway, and you play 99% of the album regardless every night. Yeah. So like I think there's a fine line there.
I mean, you could. You're right. That's a really good argument against it for certain bands. You're 100% right.
Like Bruce, I know Springsteen's done it. He's done the River, right? He did the River.
That's the only one he's ever did. Yeah.
So like, but the whole point of Bruce is like to get the long show. You get the different songs. It's the different set list every night.
Yeah.
It's like like if I went and saw Pearl Jam and it was like, we're gonna play 10. It's like, okay. That kind of defeats the purpose of you guys doing what you do.
Yeah, no. So for Bruce, like the thing that was good about because I did go to that River tour, right? So the thing that was really cool about that though is that it's 20. It's a double album. It's 20 songs, and then he'd also do on top of that, he had the Ties That Bind box set come out with it. And then it's a bunch of B-sides and stuff. He would do a handful of those B-sides too. So you're getting like 25 songs from that era, and then he's doing 10 more on top of it. So it's like what's also crazy about that is like the fact that the River was his only one that he actually did tour. Everything else he's ever done is like spontaneously over in Europe. He does Born in the USA or something, right? Or Born to Run. But like that was just a crazy night.
Gotcha. Okay.
Evan A. I don't know.
Yeah, so you're definitely a fan. I know some people are and aren't. I'm generally a fan. Like I said, I've seen Rust in Peace. I've seen Seasons. I'm trying to think of other ones. We saw Countdown to Extinction too. Yeah. Megadeth's done a lot of these. We just saw The Darkness this year. They did their debut, Permission to Land. Trying to think of other ones that I've seen. Maybe that's it. I think I've only been to like 4 or 5.
Okay. I've seen a bunch because in my neck of the woods, it's done pretty regularly. So I've seen Say Anything do Israel Boy and do In Defense of the Genre. I've seen them do Say Anything 5, 10, 15, about 20 years. So I'm about to go all 4 of them at this point.
Is that too much? Do you think that's too much? Not for take your bias out of it. Like I know you're gonna go regardless, but like
yeah. No, I'm with you.
Do you think like the integrity of it like lessens as you keep doing it? I think that's the knock against it too. Like if you're milking 100%. It too much, it's like
it's also you being too self-aware. Because for Say Anything, like I personally love those first 2 records like entirely, but there's a lot of people that only like Israel Boy. And so I feel like they just like it's like Sugar Ray. Yeah, it's like Sugar Ray playing the hits and not playing anything but that because they know that the moment they go off of it, they're done, right? So like just playing to your audience entirely. Like, yeah, it's a weird thing for that band, but like you know, it's like for certain bands like The Darkness, I know you like the first 2 records a lot, but it's the same thing. They know where their bread's buttered, and it's that first record for the most part, you know?
Yeah. What other ones have you seen?
I saw those. I saw Bruce do The River. I saw Manchester do Mean Everything and Nothing. I saw them do the first record, like version of Losing a Child. They only toured Mean Everything and Nothing, though. They only toured that one. That was like for like 13 dates, I think it was. Okay. And the other one was a Stuffing exclusive in Atlanta. It was my first one that I went to. Okay. I saw, just looking around, I think I've seen Kevin do a couple records. I saw Jimmy World do Futures. I saw them do Clarity as well. I saw 9 Inch Nails do the Broken EP unexpectedly, but I saw that like randomly.
Yeah, but that wasn't announced either, right?
Wasn't announced. Yeah, so that was fun. I saw Taking Back Sunday do Tell Your Friends, and I saw Armor Sleep do their first record and second record. I saw.
I think it's a little cooler if it's unannounced and like it's less gimmicky.
Yeah,
if it's like announced, but it's a one-off. Like it's like a festival. Like we're just because I'll talk about a band or two that have done that. Like it's just like, okay, we're doing it just for this fest. You got to come and see it if you want to see it.
Yeah. So 2 thoughts on that. I don't know if you've seen this yet, but next year when we were young, it's all records. It's all.
We've talked about that. Yeah. I don't really know how that's going to work, but yeah.
It's going to be crazy, right? So all albums. And then a second point on that is that like, hold on. I lost it. Hold on. What'd you just say?
I was talking about like it's a destination. We're going to do it. Because I got a band I'm going to talk about that's done it at Wacken. And it was like, if you're going to see it, this is it. You got to come to fucking Germany to see it.
Oh, for sure. Okay. No, yeah. So with the 9 Inch Nails one, like the biggest, like not the biggest, but one of the biggest highlights was like when Dylan and I were there on the rail going crazy, and it got like, you know, Happiness and Slavery last, like it's going on, and then like 3 songs in, it's a 6-song EP, I believe. Like half the songs in, like, oh, they're doing it. And then the next song,
you realize,
like, oh, they're doing this right now. And then the whole audience clicks in at a certain point and goes, oh shit. That was one of the highlights for me on that whole show, is just like discovering it in real time with everybody else. Whoa, we're really doing this. That was really cool.
Yeah. So I think that makes it a little bit more special. I don't know, but I'm going to talk about some bands that this could still happen. Some bands that it would never happen, but it would just be kind of a pipe dream, or like go back in time and book it if I had like $1 million or $1 billion or whatever I need. So. Yeah. No,
for sure. No, I'm with you.
This one was hard for me too, because I tried to go out of the Living Deadwax podcast comfort zone. And it's like I could have just did like, my top 10 favorite albums again, you know, basically, because none of those I've heard entirely, probably. So I don't think any one of them. So yeah. But anyway, if you want to start with some honorables, and then we'll get into the list proper.
Okay. So I have a handful here that we've talked about, but like not in depthly, but like whatever. So an honorable that I have here, actually pretty crazy, and like in this day and age would be a monster tour. Even though I personally don't think most of it holds up. Wow. Limp Bizkit.
Oh,
Starfish, Hot to Flavor Water. Hell yeah. This is original. This is real. $10. It's marked for $10 somewhere. I paid, I think, close to that, under 20. And now this is.
I didn't even realize you had that.
Oh, yeah. We've run into this back in the day. You and I ran into this a few times.
Yeah.
Dude, and we never bought it, except for I bought it this one time.
We got to do bad album covers one time. That's one of the fucking worst, dude.
It is one of the worst. Like, it's
the fuck is even going on here?
Yeah, it's not good. But like looking at this, like, so Hot Dog, banger. My Generation, banger.
My Generation.
Yeah, Full Nelson. It's cool. It's a cool song. Whatever. My Way.
Oh, it's
banger.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. And then side B, you got Rollin', banger.
Yeah.
Living It Up, I vaguely remember. The song, Get Your Groove On. I don't remember that song.
Get Your Groove On. Yeah, I know. I remember that one.
Okay, there you go. I love it. Then you got Take a Look Around. That's a good banger. One. Yeah. It'll Be Okay. How much you got on that?
None. Nothing.
Boiler's a song. Boiler's a bop.
Okay.
Hold On. Don't remember that song.
Yeah.
And then you have the Rollin' Urban Assault Vehicle version.
Gotta do that one.
Come back around. Gotta do both. Gotta do both. And then you got the outro.
Do the bonus tracks.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you got the bonus tracks. But I think this would be like what sucks is me and you just talked about this. Like me and you are both down to go see Bizkit at a certain price point.
Sure. Yeah.
And the tour they just announced is way too expensive with all dog shit openers.
Yeah, there's no added value there, unfortunately, with the openers. So, yeah, I mean, maybe they'll fall dramatically, and there will be some. Maybe they'll go on the live, because sometimes Live Nation will do that. I mean, I've bought tickets recently to shows that went on sale. So
yeah,
we'll see. Yeah, that's a good honorable, because honestly, too, like Bizkit doesn't have that integrity. So it's like, okay, yeah, we're gonna do Hot Dog. Nobody's gonna be like, what the fuck are they doing? I want to hear fucking Behind Blue Eyes, and they're not gonna play it. Oh my god.
No, I'm with you 100%.
Or Dad Bod, or whatever the hell the newer song was, Dad Joke or whatever.
Yeah. No, 100%.
All right, what's the next honorable for you?
All right, so I got for me, we just talked about this a couple weeks ago, but I'm gonna do it because I only saw them once, and it'd be really cool to see them again. But 1+44 with the first record, it's just turned 10 or so. Or no, it just turned 17 or so. I don't know why I said 10. So it's been quite a while. So if they did a 20 year for this, would be kind of sick.
They'd basically be broken up again, though. So for that to happen,
I think that if they played a Self-Aware set and they included like songs from the other projects in there, like Boxcar +44, that was always the dream.
Okay,
that was a fantasy booking that people used to do way back when. Blink's gonna get back together. What would be cool is they can do a super set where like they play all the Blink songs and then they can also play a few songs from each side project. Like that was dumb fantasy book stuff. So like if they could do this without breaking the band up, they'd be pretty sick. I'm about it.
The dream is to actually have those songs played with Tom, because they would just be better with Tom. So like,
totally,
yeah, that'd be actually really cool.
It'd be really cool. So, and plus we have most of Blink played Angel and Airways songs from the first record, the first two records. That'd be dope too. Yeah. Like I'm all about it for that fantasy booking. But regardless, for to see on stage, see Tom playing No It Isn't on stage will be as fucking weird as fucking it possibly can be. Mm-hmm. So that'd be cool. So 20 year on When Your Heart Stops Beating, play +44. And then another one which never happened but was talked about, and then it didn't happen for some reason. Then I guess this year it would have happened, and then it didn't. So whatever. Americana, Offspring.
Oh, that was supposed to happen?
So when Offspring talked about it in 2018 or so, they did like a chat or something, and they asked like, what would you guys like to see us like play when we come to your town or whatever? And somebody commented on there like Americana next year or whatever, and they're like, oh yeah, let's do that, and they never did it.
Okay.
And then that was 2018, and so this year would be 2025.
Okay.
So like,
yeah,
that would have been the next date to do, right? And they never did it. So as far as I know, and
didn't do a one-off
or
anything. I thought I remember hearing a one-off. Maybe I don't remember.
Like that's possible, but like I understand that Smash is a bigger record.
They're doing
like,
Smash again.
Sales doing 20 year on Smash or 30 year on Smash.
Yeah.
But like I don't know, man. I think that like this is the second most important record you have. Like it's obvious. I think it's probably sold the second most, more than likely than not.
I would say maybe even more.
You think so? Well, Smash is 10 million. Smash is Diamond. Yeah.
Okay. Maybe not then. I would say Americana's got to be close.
Yeah. Like
there's a ton of big songs, and a lot of people got into the band from that. Plus you had all, kind of that was kind of the heyday for the pop punk shit.
Totally.
That was kind of like
the
good time for that. So I would imagine it sold maybe 7-8 million. But yeah, that would be really cool. I would love to see that. That's a good choice. I wasn't even thinking about that.
Yeah. Like
I mean, I'd go to the Smash one too. So I like Smash quite a bit too. So
that's fair. Yeah, it'd be sick. But yeah, so that's another honorable I have here. So what I got 5, right? So 2.
Yeah, that was their third one.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. All right, another one. All right, so I got 2 more. So this one, like, it sucks. It's going to happen this next year, so I'm pretty okay with that. They did a Memories tour like 10 years ago where they played. I thought they played the whole record, but I was told that's not true. But Weezer with the Blue Album.
Oh yeah,
it'd be the shit to see this live. So
94.
next year's 30 years. So when we do the albums, obviously next year this will be a part of it.
Yeah.
So yeah, they're finally going to do it, I guess. And I was always in the impression, I haven't researched this at all, but they did the Memories tour, which I thought they played Pinkerton and Blue Album back to back. But I from what I read, they didn't do that.
Okay.
So I don't know shit unless they just played select cuts off them. But regardless, full Blue Album tour, super cool. Be also even sicker, obviously, if Matt Sharp came back. That'd be exquisite if that ever happened, on a full-time basis. But yeah, Weezer, Blue Album.
Yeah, Weezer strikes me as a band that is self-aware, but would do the opposite.
Yeah,
because those are the albums that, like, the Blue Album and Pinkerton are the people. Those are the albums.
Yeah,
I know they still have their fans and whatever, but like those are the albums. So they strike me that they know that, but they would never do that because I don't think they'd want to. Rivers would never want to admit that because they put out so much shit.
Yeah. Like way too much shit. Like way too much shit.
And when you're still putting out records every year, 2 years or whatever, like you don't want to admit that, like, oh yeah, my fucking first and second record are the only record people give a shit about.
Yeah, like that sucks, but like that's the reality, right? Like it's just what it is. All right,
I would love that. I'd 100% be down to do that though.
Okay, so sir, I'm looking at this right now.
And
the Memory Tour, they played Blue Album in the entirety. They played 2 sets. They played the first night. It was 2 nights. So the first night they would do a other hits for the first 10 songs, and then they would play the next 10 would be,
nice.
Blue Pinkerton.
Oh, there you go.
So I don't know. You guys are all liars. So that's what I've got to say, because that's what happened. So I forget where I read it, but you're liars. Whatever.
No, I'd be I mean, if they did it again, for sure. So that my argument that I was saying they wouldn't want to do that is completely blown to bits then. So yeah, I'd be down if they did it again for 30. That'd be really cool.
For sure. Yeah, and that was for 2011. So there wasn't even an anniversary there. So like they just did it.
Just kind of
so next year they're going to do it. They talked about it. River said they're going to do it, and there's a big gap in our schedule for a reason. So they're going to do it next year. So that'll be cool. Okay. So if it comes close, I'm all about it. We'll get a text from Josh Brown.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. Hey, I'd be cool to see Weezer.
Yeah, no shit, Josh. Be cool to do a lot of things.
All right, and then let's do another one. I probably just record a bunch, I think, on this channel, but like whatever. It's my favorite record of all time. Midtown, Forget What You Know. Next year is 20 years, and
they've never done it.
they've never done it. No, because they've never actually toured after this record.
Oh,
so they didn't get back together until like 2013 or 14. They played one show at Surf and Skate, and then this last year and a half or so, they've been kind of back together and playing sporadically. They opened some of the MCR shows.
Oh, okay.
And I think they opened on the Thursdays tour too. So they're doing some stuff, but they've not done like a Midtown tour. So they did an EP too that a lot of people hated. It was just covers. But regardless, Midtown 20 years next year for you know, and it'd be really cool if they did it. I don't know what the venues look like. I don't know how many shows they're playing. I don't know if they're playing here.
You said it's happening. You know it's happening, or you think it's going to happen?
No, so I don't. I think it's going to happen.
Oh, okay.
Like, I don't know what it means in terms of, like I said, like the amount of times, like if they're just going to play New Jersey, New York, or if they're going to like do an LA date too randomly. Like, I don't know if that's going to happen, but I'm curious if they played other dates. If they played 15 dates, let's say.
Yeah.
I'm very curious as to what the turnout is and what the venues are like.
Gotcha.
Yeah, because like if they played here, I don't know where they would play.
Really?
I don't know. Because like I don't think this is the marquee. This is not a marquee show.
Van Buren?
Like maybe
Crescent?
It might be a Crescent. Might be a Crescent show. Like it's crazy. Yeah. So I think it's gonna happen. Whether it be a one-off or a little tour of some kind, who knows? But yeah, Midtown, for what you know, be the shit. Because I never saw the band ever. To see him play this record, my favorite record, be perfect. So there you go.
That's an honorable?
That's honorable. So yeah,
right.
So I got
Jeez,
1,
all right.
2, 3, 4, 5. I have 6 in here, but I did 5, so I pulled one too many. But
no worries.
Whatever.
Maybe you can do 6 or 5, whatever you want to do. I'll do one real quick. It's another major one for me. So kind of similar to Tyler. Seventh Son of a Seventh Son. Maiden's only done this once, and they did it with A Matter of Life and Death in 2007 when that album came out. They played the album in its entirety. That's the notorious tour because everybody bitched about that. Even though I love that record, so I would have loved that. I didn't see them until 3 or 4 years. No, 2 years after that.
Yeah,
I think 2009 was the first time I saw them, or 2008.
Yeah.
Anyway,
you get the stuff at school.
Yeah, so they never really do this. They do kind of anniversary tours and like kind of reference old shit, but they never do like albums in their entirety. They just kind of do like a greatest hits package, or like right now they're doing the Somewhere in Time album tour with Future Past. So with the new record, so they're combining the new record with Somewhere in Time, even though they're not playing the entirety of Somewhere in Time.
Yeah.
It's just that stage aesthetic and that type of stuff. So. And they're playing a lot of songs. I mean, they're playing Alexander the Great, which they've never played live. There is a couple songs on here, The Prophecy and Only the Good Die Young, which is crazy to me that I read that Only the Good Die Young has never been played, because that's like it's a really good Maiden song. First of all, I love that song, but it's also like it's kind of just like a good classic fast Maiden song. So it's just it would fit in any set list all the time, and people know that and love that song. So
what's the cool Maiden record to like?
Probably Killers.
That's the cool one to like? That's the coolest one to like?
That's the cool one to like. That's when you like, I like Paul.
Okay.
I like the punk stuff. I like Paul. I'm into the heavy shit. That's dude, I've heard that on Sea of Tranquility so much, I'd blow my fucking brains out. Dude, it's like, god damn, okay, I fucking get it. We get it. You're fucking cool, bro. We understand. Dickinson's the devil. We get it. We're sorry.
Yeah, we get it. I didn't know if Seventh Son was a cool record to like, or if that's a consensus like favorite record.
No, Seventh Son's definitely. I don't think it's a cool record. I mean, a lot of people like it, but this is their proggiest. It's the most keyboards. Okay. The record after this is very slimmed down and bare for a reason, because they went, in the complete opposite direction of this record. So Somewhere in Time is probably the happy medium too. A lot of people like that record, and they'll say that's before they got too keyboardy, too many stints.
Or Hagar joined the band.
Yeah, before Sammy killed the fucking man. Sold a lot of records when Paul left the group. Literally, that's actually true. So yeah, Seventh Son of a Seventh Son would be amazing to hear this entirely live. It's my favorite one of my favorite records of all time. Be really cool just to they redid this tour again. I mean, we saw them on that with the stage setup and shit. But
they do the gimmicks, they don't do the record.
Yeah, and they played a lot of this record, but they didn't play the whole thing. So to hear the whole thing would be really sick.
Hell yeah.
We talk about Maiden all the time, so I put it in the honorables. Next honorable, haven't really talked about this band much, and I own their whole catalog, so I should start talking about it more. Savatage, Call of the Mountain King. This is one that could never happen again. I mean, it could, in theory. I mean, Chris is dead, but like, why would they? They make so much money from TSO. Like, Savatage is done forever. I don't even think there'll ever be another record. This is probably the consensus pick for everybody's favorite Savatage record. I would say it's probably mine if I ever sat down and did the ranking. Just really good, proper heavy metal, kind of in that Maiden vein. Like if you never listened to Savatage, really good riffs, really good vocals, just good classic metal, kind of early power metal. I mean, they kind of are proto like US power metal here. Then they get way into like more like the rock opera stuff and like Queen influence shit later, which is still good too. But Hall of the Mountain King, that would be fucking sick.
Hell yeah.
Obvious choice. They have done this. I still have never seen this band live. I've had opportunities to. Next time they come here, I will definitely go. I think the next time they come here, they will be doing this because it'll be the 30th anniversary next year. And they definitely have no problem milking the fuck out of this record. So Mayhem with Dame Mysterious. They have done this live and they did a whole tour and they released a live album and shit doing this whole thing in its entirety. So this would be sick. If it does happen next year, I'm definitely going. If it comes anywhere close, for sure.
Are they a Nile band?
Last time they were here, they did play Nile Theater. Yeah.
Okay. I don't know where they were going with it.
Something like that. They could probably play Van Buren. Maybe even
really.
Marky. Yeah, if it's booked like that, promoted like that, 30th anniversary of that album. The really cool thing about that band is Attila is still in the band who does all the vocals on that. So you're getting the vocals. Hellhammer's still on drums. So you're getting two-fourths of it, and the other half can't. One's dead, and one's obviously never going to play music live ever again, and never really did play live music. So, being Varg. So, anyway, that would be really cool. This other band, similar vein, 30th anniversary. They would never come here. They did do Psycho Las Vegas like a couple years ago. So I'm thinking maybe if they want to trot this out again, this is also a 94 debut. Emperor in the Nightside Eclipse. This would be really sick to see. They did their second record this year. They did a couple dates, and they've done this at Wacken. They did the 20th anniversary at Wacken in 2014 and played this in its entirety. And they brought back Faust, the original drummer. So it was this lineup. So which is really cool. So yeah, maybe we'll get like the max they're going to do is like 5 or 6 dates. So
what's crazy is they played Psycho Las Vegas and they didn't play any other shows at all.
They might have played like 1 or 2, but they don't. Yeah. Well, Isan doesn't want to tour, and like there's no, like I don't think the juice is worth the squeeze in the States. Like especially, like if we can book on big fests and headline a fest with this record or the second record, then it's worth the squeeze. But like if you tour, I think that the returns are diminishing.
Yeah.
I mean, I would love it if they came here and did it, and then I wouldn't have to travel.
Yeah, that's true.
So we'll see. Next honorable, 2112. There's tracks on here that they never played live. They never played Lessons. They never played Tears. I think that's it. I mean, they only played the whole 2112, the first side, on one tour. That was 96.
Wow.
They finally busted out and played the entire 2112 suite. So,
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of Rush records you could choose. 2112 is a great choice because they have a lot of like half concept records. Hemispheres, another really good choice. You could choose that. So 2112 though, man, it'd be really sick to go back in time and like see them in their prime and knock out everything. So
have they ever, or have they? But did they ever do a tour of any record or play any record?
No.
Okay.
No. And there's records that they played every song live,
but before. It wasn't the gimmick.
No, not all at once.
Yeah.
I think that's I think they would think that's kind of beneath them. I don't know.
Yeah, it's cheap.
Especially in the latter days where they wanted to celebrate everything, like all the time.
Yeah.
So yeah, but 2112, like I said, Hemispheres would be a really cool choice too. Obviously, Moving Pictures would be, obviously sick. Signals for me would be sick, but I think 2112 would probably be the coolest just because it's their not debut, but their big breakthrough album. Hemispheres is probably their proggiest album, but it's close to their proggiest album. Plus, the whole side is the 2112 suite, which was only played a handful of times in its entirety. So it would be a special one for sure. That's all my honorables. There you go.
Okay.
Yeah.
Half an A, man. No, it's good stuff. I mean, that's crazy. Those are honorables. Those are all big records. Like to Fantasy Book, those are massive, massive records.
Oh, for sure. I just kind of wanted to. I just know I want to shine the spotlight on some shit I haven't talked about like a billion times for on the channel. So, all right, let's go. Let's go back and forth here. Alternate. What's your worst one you're gonna choose?
All right, first one. This could happen. I would really enjoy it. It would be the 20-year tour. Right? Yeah, it'd be the 20-year tour. I guess you do 15. So it's gonna be Tiger's Jaw, self-titled. This is my favorite Tiger's Jaw record, and it sucks because I like a lot of what they've done since this. But hey, these are the songs I popped most for. So like I heard like 3 weeks ago, I saw them twice. I saw them 2 nights in a row, and like they played a couple songs twice from this album, and like I went off super hard for it, and I just realized how much. And then when I got home after that, I listened to this like the first 2 days I was back at work, and I was like, this record is so good. Like I have so many memories tied up into it, and like top to bottom, I want to hear. I'm sure a lot of it, or damn near all of it's probably been played live at some point in time because this is the second record, the first real record, with the second record like ever. So like, it would just be cool to hear it all at once. I saw this tour, but they definitely didn't play the whole record.
Gotcha.
They played 6 songs, and there's 10 of them, So, Tiger's Jaw, self-titled, love it. Do that. It'd be cool. Like 2008. So like. Yeah, we got 15, 20 years next time. So
yeah, 15 would be this year then, if it was 08.
15, yeah.
Yeah, gotcha. I mean, again, it doesn't have to be an anniversary either. Like,
yeah, I guess I just keep relating to that.
It does make it more special, but
yeah.
This is one that'll never happen, and for obvious reasons when I talk about it, but also it never did. And some of these songs have never been played live before. One of the greatest records ever, Rainbow Rising. I mean, I think this is the greatest rock lineup ever put together, like top to bottom. Outside of Rush, which I'm extremely biased, I think it's the most talented lineup of like any type of rock or metal or hard rock lineup ever. So to hear this album in its entirety with Richie, with Cozy, with Ronnie, all in their prime, like, holy shit, dude. So that would definitely be one. And I would fantasy book it to go back to like back when this album came out and hear it in its prime.
77.
Rainbow Rising is 76, right?
Okay.
I think I'm almost positive it's 76.
Okay.
I'm gonna check the tape there. I'm pretty sure it's 76.
Yeah.
But Yeah, because I think Long Live Rock and Roll came out in 78 or 77, and then he left and then joined Sabbath, I think.
Yeah, I just feel like
So
76. Yeah.
okay.
So yeah, it'd be pretty crazy to see that tour because like at this point, like Rainbow is Rainbow, like they're a band, like because obviously like Richie's coming off Deep Purple, so Richie's one of the biggest rock stars in the world. Like I don't know what the business was for Rainbow at the time, but they were not a small band ever, right?
No.
So like
yeah, it always had the hype because it's Richie Blackmore's new band.
Exactly.
Yeah. And then the first record had really good songs on it too, and then this record was the big blow up and the classic album. So
crazy.
Yeah, dude, I would be absolutely stoked. And yeah, I was shocked to hear that, shocked to read that there's songs that they never even played live at all, ever in any incarnation of Rainbow off this album. There's only 6 tracks, and they played 4 of them, but there's 2 of them they haven't. I can't remember which 2, but according to Setlist FM, anyway. Yeah, obviously they're an old band, so there could be missing sets out there, but that would be really sick.
Yeah. So I forgot the story. I forgot to tell you the story. So on the Manchester stuffing dates, they played 2 nights and they played like a bunch of like some deepish cuts sort of, and like that was the gimmick. So like they had a 5-date tour leading up to these dates, the blow off dates in Atlanta. Okay, so like they busted out some like some deeper cuts, not like the deepest cuts, but like because they played all these songs live at some point in time. But like they don't play them live much anymore. So anyway, so they pulled a lot of stuff out and it was really cool. And like a song that I was always jockeying for like ever is a song called Wolves at Night. It's the first song off the first record. So that was the first song I ever heard him play. That's the first song I ever heard ever from the band. Wow, and so I like it a lot. So like I've hit him up about it multiple times, and so Andy was like, "Yeah, we're gonna play it," because they played it on the lead up to the tour. They played it once on that 5-date tour through like Florida and like Alabama and stuff. And so at that point I was like, okay, sick, they're gonna play it. And I asked Andy about it before the tour, and he was like, "Oh yeah, we gotta work it out, whatever." Because like the tour is the warm up tour, we're gonna work out the songs, and then by the stuffing, we'll get them all good. They're all good. And I was like, all right, cool. I'm stoked about it. So anyway, stuffing comes around, and night 1 they don't play it. Night 2, I'm expecting it over and over again because I was confirmed they're gonna play it. They don't play it. And I'm like, and I told all of our little bubble, I was like, we were talking, what song are they going to play tomorrow night? What songs, what songs they got left, kind of stuff. Right. And I was like, well, we're definitely getting Wolves at Night. Cause I was confirmed at that,
Yeah.
And they never play it. So anyway, I talked to him like 2 days or a few days later, whatever the fuck. I talked to him and I'm like, hey, what happened with Wolves at Night? And he was like, okay, so here's the thing. The drum parts in that song, the cadence is so weird that when we played it in Florida on the tour, like it wasn't fun to play and it didn't sound great. And like we were kind of like, because it was from the first record, they haven't played it since they played the first record on the 10-year anniversary, however many years ago. So so he's like, it's really weird. And I said, I was like, there's not a planet that exists that Tim, their current drummer, can't play all of Jeremiah, their old drummer's parts. No disrespect to Jeremiah, but Tim's a better drummer. And then Andy said like, well, you would think that for sure, but it's a really weird part in the drums that like it's hard to nail with everything. So he's like, so blame Tim in a joking way. And I was like, I've never thought about it. And so some of these songs, my point of saying that, so it's a cool story. My point of that though is I wonder if a lot of these songs, I know some bands obviously they have songs we'll never play live because we can't play live. But way back when, Rainbow era, there's not a lot of songs that were probably technically impossible. So like it's interesting they never were played live, like you said, but in the event they weren't played live, I wonder if there was like a technical reason in terms of like ability to do so,
Yeah, potentially for sure. Because you think with Cozy left, they're getting whoever they got in to fill him, and he's one of the greats. So you think about that. Also, you think about just Richie changing. They changed the sound completely when Ronnie left, so it's like we don't want to go back and celebrate this type of shit. They were going for the more AOR type of shit, you know, radio hits.
Album-oriented radio.
Yeah, there's definitely songs like that. I mean, reading Getty's book, he talked about doing Tom Sawyer, and Tom Sawyer almost didn't make the record.
Wow.
Because he hated doing that song. They couldn't get it right. There's so many things on that were just this in the studio was not working out. So like the little things like that, you know. And there's songs that they would play and they'd be so hard to play. It's like we have to do their thing was we have to be able to do it live.
Yeah.
And especially when they get in the synth era and shit, and Getty's doing all the samples and shit. And he's like, eventually we got to the point where it's like getting too difficult. So we had to eventually start pulling it back. So even though he kind of didn't want to, it just kind of happened because they brought in a new producer for Presto. And the producer told him, like, you guys are losing the guitar. We need to bring the guitar back. That's when that started. But he even talks about like shit just got so hard, and their thing was like, we need to be able to recreate it live. So there's only so many feet and hands that you have to hit shit and hit pedals to make shit go off. So, and he said they had so many different things programmed. Like it would be like this sample would be buried under this sample. So you'd have to hit this to get under here. And if you didn't do that, then the wrong thing's fucking coming out. So yeah, that is definitely a part of it too. I imagine some of those songs, maybe there was a technical reason that they couldn't play it live. So, man.
Yeah. No, it's crazy. No, but I said the last bit on that, I forgot. I said like, well, you better get Jer for the 20 year, and he was like, that's literally what to do. He's like,
oh,
and what's funny, and it's like Jer was at the show that night too, and I was like, you just grab him then, have him do the first song, and we're done. You know, be sick. All right. So another one that,
well, I mean that's I give bands props for integrity for doing that. Like they had the because I'm sure a lot of fans would love it, obviously. Yeah. And even Getty talks about that in his book. Like he says, like sometimes the most memorable shows are the shows I hated, but shit would go wrong and the fans would always have that in their memory. Like, oh, Alex broke his string that night, and that's when he swapped out guitars in the middle of Limelight or whatever.
The legendary night.
And that ruined Alex's or Ged's night, but it made that fans' night because that made it different. Yeah. So I respect the band, though, for being like, hey, this didn't work out. Let's not just bring it out just to get a pop, you know?
Yeah.
So.
No, for sure. All right, another one that unfortunately cannot happen, you know? But I would have been so cool, and they probably played most of this record, if not the entire record, on the first tour because they were already a big band out of the gate. The best supergroup, Velvet Revolver, and the album Contraband. The best. They are the best supergroup. You know that to be a fact. You know that. But. Yeah, okay. But I'm sure the first tour, they played a lot of this record. This is obviously my introduction, you know, to them. And so many good tracks on here. They played them all live because they had to, like the singles at least, right? But like, there's still like there's secondary songs on here that weren't singles, like deeper cuts that I think are badass, man. Like Circus Train Blues, I think was the single for him. Do It For The Kids, a cool song. Big Machines, a cool song. Like, we're all slaves to the big machine. That's a cool goddamn song. You got The Spectacle. You got Fall to Pieces, massive song, right? You got Slither, Dirty Little Thing, Loving the Aliens, a cool closing track.
So even that first tour, they didn't play that whole thing live.
I don't imagine so, because there's 13 songs. They probably played 10 with like Civil War or something, right? Or like, you know, another, like some other Guns shit, whatever. So like my thought, I don't know that to be 100%, but I believe that's probably about what they did. So like,
I have a memory of them doing Night Train.
Okay.
And I think they did Night Train. Like we had an Ozfest DVD.
Okay.
They were never on Ozfest, but it was like an Ozfest at Download Fest. So it included other bands. And I think they did Night Train on that DVD. So you're probably right. They probably like did the singles, did like the 6 songs, and then filled the rest of the set with some Guns. Did they ever do STP shit?
So here we got.
Trying
So
to
we
remember.
got. So this is the first set list on Setlist FM form, which is May 9th, 2004 at the Roxy.
Okay.
They played 15 songs. They played Cracker Man. They
So
played, these are
STP.
covers.
Yeah.
Mr. Brownstone.
Okay.
Used to Love Her. Sex Type Thing. It's So Easy.
STP. Okay.
Yeah.
Jones. Yeah.
So yeah, they didn't play all the songs. They didn't play. Let's see here. Hold on. Yeah, it's Spectacle. Yes.
Maybe Axel wants to trot it out.
I mean, why not? Right? Like it's you play everything else, man.
You already
like,
played for 4 hours, so what the fuck, you know?
Why not go 5? Like, okay.
Yeah.
So they didn't play You Got No Right, which is the 10th track. They didn't play that.
Gotcha.
And they didn't play Dirty Little Thing or Loving the Alien. So they played damn near the entire track, but they played 8 out of the 13. I guess. Yeah. Or 10 out of the 13. Okay. Yeah, either way. There you go. Fun. So badass.
That'd be a cool one. Yeah.
Cannot happen with Scott being gone. But this year, I think, 04? Yeah, this would be the 20-year anniversary tour. So
it's an 04 record. Nice. Talk about that next year too.
Talk about next year. Yeah, so again, Axel, you want to pull these out? Let's do it, man. We got just an extra hour.
Yeah, that's a good choice. I'll pull a band that I talk about this country and this kind of genre a lot, but never this band really. So wanted to pull this out. It's a record that everybody loves. I have seen a form of this band live before, and they were awesome. And the current lineup could do this and do it respectively. So we'll see. I don't know. This is 90 though, so I don't know what. We got a long ways to go for another 90 anniversary. I guess 35 years.
Yeah.
But anyway, Entombed with Left Hand Path, Swedish death metal band, 1990. Basically started like that Swedish sound. So like those guitars, that guitar tone, all of this started here. This record's brutal. It's got really great riffs, just really thick buzzsaw guitars. And I honestly say, like, even if you're not into death metal, like this is a great album, because if you like thrash, you could get into this because of the riffing, the head banging. It's not like if you don't like Morbid Angel or like Cannibal Corpse or anything, because that's too heavy, too fast. This has the melody and the riffs still, which a lot of the Swedish death metal does. It gets more melodic with like At the Gates and In Flames and stuff, but this would be really sick to see live just because it's such a seminal record too for everybody in the scene and was so influential. So yeah, Entombed with Left Hand Path. I don't know if it'll ever happen, but it'd be cool if it did.
Am I a Swedish death metal boy? Is that they got just like it's a thrash. Like,
I mean, you liked In Flames, so
I did, yeah.
That's the more melodic side, so yeah.
All right, maybe I am here.
I think Entombed came up on that Headbangers Ball thing the other weekend when we were hanging out.
I'm sure they did, yeah.
You didn't turn it off, so.
That's true. I did not. That's true. I didn't turn it off. Fair enough. All right. So I just realized that I got a lot of 04 unintentionally.
Oh, really?
Or 94. So I got a lot of
nice.
Yeah, records here. So real fun. All right, next one. This would be my favorite. Like my favorite tour if they did it. Okay. Next year would be 20 years. Apparently this is not everyone's record, which is really shocking to me. The next record after this is the record that everybody wants to see, and they're playing at When We Were Young. But for my money, MCR, Three Cheers, Sweet Revenge.
That's not the record, huh?
It's not the record.
Wow.
It's not. It's weird, man. Like, I've gone through life, like, for up until the last, like, 5 or 6 years, going through life every day of my life, living a lie. Because I've walked around with Three Cheers is the record. Three Cheers is the record. Three Cheers, that's the record. Like, but there's so many people that love Black Parade that it's really shocking to me. I really never realized that, especially not in the moment. but they're playing Black Parade at when we were young.
Yeah.
So not playing this. This is the tour I'd like to see. This is the tour I saw them on Warped Tour 05. The only time I've ever seen them is on Warped Tour 05 for this record. They played most of this record, but a lot of it. But I don't know. I don't know if it would ever happen because I think they would just move right on to Black Parade because maybe they also don't think this is the record. Curiously enough, it's sold in S load. But yeah, like I've seen most of these songs, live. It'd be cool to see the whole record done.
So. Yeah, I wonder when that was booked. I wonder if the promoter said, "All right, we want you to play these albums." And I wonder if the bands really didn't have much of a choice. I imagine they did because obviously they're one of the biggest bands on there. But even then, like, you still only have so much stroke. So yeah. I'd be curious to see like if they did, but we're told, no, you're gonna play this one instead. I don't know.
I mean, yeah, like there's a lot of those bands don't have another record. Like they have that's the record you're playing. Like, sorry,
gotcha.
I know you have 7 others, but this is the record. They have a few of those.
Sure.
And like Jimmy Eat World, they're doing Bleed American, which is really cool because as we talked about before, some other time we talked about like them doing the record tours, whatever. They only played Bleed American once at the Fillmore in LA, one time. So 01, there's no anniversary whatsoever for playing it in 2024. So we'll see if they decide to do it when, the 25 year comes around, I guess would be the next one. We'll see what happens. But yeah, that I don't know. I think that they probably chose that for some reason.
Gotcha.
But yeah, MCR, 3 Cheers for Revenge. We'll love to see it.
All right, this next one I have kind of seen. Okay. When I saw this band, it was an overbooked show, and we arrived late. So I saw about half of this album played live. So it sucked. So it's like one of those I have but haven't. So it's one of those regrets. So hopefully another anniversary comes around, they do it. They're one of those bands that strike me that they probably won't because they still do new albums all the time and tour on those albums every 2 years. And they usually play a nice chunk of their new shit. That band's Mastodon with Crack the Sky. Mm-hmm. So yeah, this was an overbooked show, moved from a larger venue to a smaller venue. It was the most people I've been at. It was uncomfortably too many people in Marquee Theater that night. And that was
crazy.
That was before they renovated it and opened everything up in the front.
There was still that wall there, the merch wall.
Yeah, there was still that wall and only those 2 entrances. So I remember getting there late and me and Colin were in like the back. Basically in the merch area where it used to be behind that wall, remember?
Near the bar.
Exactly. We were back there basically. So we arrived late. So I only saw like a quarter of it. Cause when this album came out, they played the whole album in its entirety.
Oh, wow.
That was the tour. And that was a cool night because Death Clock played. Death Clock was the headliner. So I did get to see all of Death Clock, but yeah. Missed out on most of this and was not comfortable. So like they're a much bigger band now, so they play a bigger venue, and this would be really sick. I don't think it'll ever happen again. We'll see.
Crazier things have happened.
Yeah, I mean, what's it? 08, right? I don't remember. 09. 09. So
I thought it was 2010. I thought it came out right before Big Four, but okay, no, that's not true.
Nah, I mean, I was still jocking this record 2 or 3 years later, 4 years, still to this day. So
fucking loser.
So what 15 years next year. So maybe.
We'll see. Yeah, because that's not even the record for some people, right?
I mean, that's a record for a lot of people, but like some people like the earlier shit, like Blood and Thunder, the record before that. Like that's some like the old school fans. Like that's like the cool record. Crack the Sky is the one where they got way more proggy and they got some songs on the radio and shit.
Sold out.
I would, they did a concept record about fucking Rasputin and shit. So yeah,
that's sold the fuck out.
That's the Yeah, that's the sellout.
That's the classic sellout record. Is the one about Rasputin?
Yeah,
you and I both know that. All right, so got another one here. This is a '94. This could happen. Next year, we 20 years.
30. If it's 94.
30 years. Lied to you. You know. But we're going. What's the story? Morning Glory.
Yeah, we've talked about this. We talked about this last episode. You think this is going to happen? But you think it's going to happen in 2025?
So I think what I think is going to happen. So there's also like been like odd. This is also 95. I lied to you. 95. So this makes sense then. 30 years makes sense. Mm-hmm. So there's stories out there right now because Noel just got divorced and Liam.
That's how it starts.
It's how it starts. It's literally how it starts. If a man gets divorced, he's going to make up with his bandmates. It has to happen. So Noel got divorced, and so that now I guess has opened up a line of communication with Liam, and Liam's already doing the Definitely Maybe tour this year or 2024. He's already doing dates for that in Europe, and so North America probably is not going to happen. Like more than likely not going to happen. But so Liam's already doing Oasis stuff. He always does, but like directly Oasis stuff. And so the thought process is they're closer than ever, supposedly. 2025 is when they're going to relaunch and do stadiums all over Europe and then do large theaters here.
I wouldn't count those chickens until they hatch, like until you're there.
Totally. But Noel just lost $100 million.
Still, I wouldn't count those chickens unless you're there in the audience and they're playing. I don't even count those chickens.
And even then, you don't know if the show's gonna be going to the end.
Exactly.
But yeah, super cool. I mean, this is an iconic record. The first three records are iconic for most fans. But yeah, Roll With It, Wonderwall, Don't Look Back in Anger. Some might say Cast No Shadow, Morning Glory, Champagne Supernova. Like those are just the singles. So half the record is a single, the biggest songs of the 90s almost, right? Especially over in Europe. But Oasis, What's the Story, Morning Glory, I would pay an insane amount of money for this. Definitely Maybe is my favorite Oasis record because I think it's just more raw and more rockin'. But I love this too. So it'd be really cool to see. So maybe 2025, fingers crossed. Let's do it.
Yeah, I mean the odds are pointing there. Get the divorce and get the reunions.
Oh yeah,
that's how you make the money.
That's how you make the money,
and then you do the anniversary tours.
Oh yeah, hit them up.
Yeah, do a reunion. None of the new shit, just the old stuff. All right.
Yeah.
Honestly, this dude, I would take like almost any of his albums as an album tour. I think it'd be really cool. And I don't know if he's done any of them. Off the top of my head, I don't think so. But King Diamond, I pulled Abigail just because Abigail's a sick fucking record. Yeah. But like Them is really good. Even Fatal Portrait, the first record, obviously great. Conspiracy's real cool. The Eye, like there's a lot of King Diamond records that I love, and every record is a concept. So you could do really cool stage stuff, really cool themes with it. And dude's a showman. So to see something like this would be sick. I don't know if we're ever going to get it because apparently, we're supposed to get the Merciful Fate album next year. Mm-hmm. And I imagine he's going to want to tour that. But he also said we're going to get a King Diamond album too.
Yeah.
So he's trying to do like what he was doing in the 90s and alternating. Whether or not he can do that 30 years after that is when he last did that, I don't know. But we'll see. So I don't know if he's even going to have time to do any anniversaries tours. But if he wanted to, I'd be down for literally any of the albums. It'd probably be this one or Them. But either way, I'd be down with it. Just because everything's a concept. You could do really cool stage setup, like I said, and you can do a really cool theming around everything, not just an anniversary of the album. So yeah. King Diamond with Abigail.
Yeah, hell yeah. Does he have solo? Does he have gnarly stage setups and stuff too?
Yeah. You can watch one of the
the Philadelphia show.
Yeah, that's it's a great show.
Yeah.
That's a great show. And his wife's in the band, does backup vocals. She's really good.
Yeah. She does all his social media and stuff too, right? Doesn't she?
I'm pretty sure. Yes. Yeah.
So I feel like I've seen a lot of like his wife posting like just, which is really weird, but like so they just post like regular ass videos like while they're on tour and stuff, whatever. And it's just very wild to see King Diamond like scanning something or printing something out or something. Like just very weird. Like it's just like he's at a computer desk. It's odd. But yeah. All right. Sick. Okay, another one that's it's not the record anybody else wants necessarily, but it's the record I want desperately.
You'd be the only one there.
I don't know the only one, but damn near probably. Like if you had to choose all the records, like maybe I would choose a different one, like gun to my head, like I would rather hear this. But I don't know. This one's kind of hard to beat. 9 Inch Nails.
Oh, wow.
With Teeth. So it's 05. So,
Downward Spiral would be the one, right?
That's the. I mean, for Fragile, a lot of fans too, and Pretty Hate Machine, a lot of fans too. But like, I think Downward Spiral is the consensus. Probably, it's also the longest record, right, or damn near the longest record. So it'd be pretty gnarly. But this is the comeback record. I've talked this multiple times on the show. It's the first one that I was ever to be able to perceive as a fan, like entirely and hype up and everything else, get excited for. It's the poppiest record. It has a bunch of huge hit or 3 huge songs, with massive videos and everything else that he doesn't really play live a lot these days. And it'd be really cool to see a lot of these songs. I think a lot of them haven't been played or not played very often. And because I don't think he likes. So I heard him talk about the song "The Collector" in an interview. This is granted like 10 years ago. But the other day I was listening to it, and he said that he likes The Collector a lot, and he thought it'd be a badass song to play live. And then he said when I played it, it didn't really get the reaction from the crowd. So it's kind of how you gauge your set list, because we're trying to please ourselves, our fans, casuals and hardcores, and then it's hard to play with everything. So anyway, some of these songs have been avoided, for the most part since the record came, a couple of years after the record came out, and they just have so many songs at this point. So it'd be cool to see it and to see it top to bottom. I'm stoked for any 9 Inch Nails shows at this point, because who knows if he's ever going to tour again. But any shows, if they want to do it with Teeth tour, be really cool and interesting. And maybe they would do it because it is kind of like, oh shit, they're doing the weird, like the comeback record. It'd be really gnarly. But yeah, so there you go. 9 Inch Nails with Teeth. Do a 20-year tour, Trent. Let's do it.
All right, my next one is one that immediately came to mind. This is my last one too. It was like, okay, this is it. And I've never seen this band before. So to see this would be absolutely stoked. Blind Guardian with Nightfall in Middle Earth. So Blind Guardian is much like Halloween, German power metal. We're coming up at the same time. And they went in a much different direction, though. They became way more operatic and way more like Queen influenced. This is a concept record. This is about the Silmarillion. So if you're into Tolkien, this is the album for you. Like, I'm not even into Tolkien. The only reason I like Tolkien shit is because he influences almost everything that I enjoy. So,
nerd shit. Yeah, all the nerd shit.
Countless metal albums and video games and all that shit. So, this record is fucking stellar. They've never done it live in its entirety. It is a true concept record, though. So, like, if they did do it in its entirety, you'd have to, if you wanted to do it all, you got to play the interludes and shit. And they got the spoken word parts and shit. So, it'd be really interesting. You could do a really cool set with it and stage setup and shit like that. It's a long record too, so this is probably all you're gonna hear, damn near. So I imagine that would piss off some fans. Yeah. Because I've never seen them before. I don't know if I'd want this to be my first time I see them, because I'd want to hear a lot of other shit as well. But honestly, Nightfall on here is one of my favorite songs ever. When we do top 10 songs, which you've never done on the channel, that might make the top 10. Like anytime I listen to this record, I got to listen to that song like 5 or 6 times. And there's so many good live versions of that. Like watch him headline Wacken in Germany. They're in their element, man. And such a great band. Almost the entire original lineup. I think only the drummer at this point is different too. So like if they did do the anniversary, it's a true anniversary with all the correct guys for the most part. So, yeah, Blind Guardian, Nightfall in Middle Earth, fucking great album cover too.
That's sick.
What a great! They're such a great band.
They don't tour very often at all, right?
They do a lot of European stuff. Obviously, they do all
a lot
the
of fests, though.
A lot of European fests. They do, yeah, because they're usually headliners or top of the bill over in Europe. So,
when's the last time they played the States?
I don't think they played the States on their last record came out in 2022, which is really good. I don't even know if they toured over here for that. They might have played like a handful of dates. So very much like Halloween. If they come here and I got to travel, I'm going to have to travel. Like it's just going to be is what it is. So, but this would be obviously if they did something like this, I would definitely go. So they're a bucket list band for me though, because they're like Halloween's my 1A for this type of shit, and Blind Guardian's my 1B. They're right behind them. So,
yeah, hell yeah. All right, so I got 2 more left here. And then, all right. So I've never seen this band. This is the biggest record from this band. We've talked about them maybe once or twice. I forget now. But it's the biggest record. And that would be At the Drive-In, Relationship of Command. This is like the first record that I listened to. Like this is the record with One Arm Scissor. Obviously, that's the biggest song they ever had. And this is the one you go back to because there's so much weird, really influential, like really interesting sounds in this record. Like all the songs, I downloaded these one by one off LimeWire initially.
Yeah.
So like I didn't even know like a set list or a track list or anything like that.
Sure.
Because it was just like At the Drive-In and whatever. I just kept downloading random things. So like it was a lot of blank, and I had to fill in later and fix things or whatever, right? But like, I was super stoked on getting these all downloaded and everything else because it was just like I didn't even know there was the same record, a lot of them, right, initially. But Pattern Against User, One Arm Scissor, Invalid Letter Department, Mannequin Republic, like Quarantine, Cosmonaut, Catacombs, like massive songs. And I'm pretty sure when they did the reunion tours, like they toured for like a year and a half or 2 years or so, they didn't play anywhere or they played close to here. They played a lot of California, but I didn't go to it. But they didn't play Arizona, so I never saw it because I'm stupid. But I'm pretty sure they play a lot of it, but not everything. And it'd be really cool to see them do top to bottom, which I mean they could do because I think that Mars Volta is currently playing one of their records, like their big record. I think is going. They're playing it top to bottom, so like it's possible to happen. If they decide they want to revisit At the Drive-In. I know there's a lot of like weird member stuff going on with Jim, maybe not in the band anymore, but still maybe in the band. Who knows? Miscommunications and all the fun stuff. So I don't know if it'll happen. It's possible if everybody works everything out and whatever. But it'd be super sick to see. I would just love to see them in general, right? But to see them do this whole record would be pretty cool. So there you go. At the Drive-In, Relationship of Command. Boom.
I saw the Mars Volta open for Chili Peppers.
And you said it was the worst thing you ever saw in your life.
Yeah, probably.
That's what you said. I remember. Because I was like,
that's what you said.
That's what you said. It's what you said. Because I remember like in my mind going, fuck. I might have said fuck to you the first time you told me that. And you're like, it was the worst thing I ever saw.
I don't I'd probably dig it more now, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm trying to remember a lot of it. It was just like kind of long.
Oh yeah.
Which is like nobody's there to see you. Literally zero people are there to see you. In that situation.
Yeah.
So like you're just kind of long. You're playing too long. You've no interaction. You know what I'm saying? Like it's one of those.
You're playing too long.
It's one of those like weird openers. It's like they're not a good opening band.
Yeah.
Like I'd probably be more into it like if I knew what I was getting into. But when you're playing what you play and then I'm waiting for Chili Peppers, like just fucking go away.
Well, yeah. Well, because a lot of people like that's why like certain bands don't ever tour or didn't ever like tour the openers and stuff because like fans would treat them like shit because it was like you're the reason why we're not seeing so and so. Like that's the reason.
That's why Rush just stopped doing openers after a while. You know?
Yeah.
So
It's like the Slayer shit, like the Rollins fucking story where Rollins talks about how when he opened for Slayer, it was and Slayer and Maiden, both bands, he opened for them, and he said the fans just you're what's between them and their favorite band, so you're not getting any respect. So,
no, not at all. Yeah,
especially when your songs are long and progressive and weird.
Yeah, especially with those, especially Slayer and Maiden fan bases for sure.
For sure.
So yeah,
seeing Rollins band.
Yeah. I'm out of them. You got one more?
All right, I got one more, and okay. I guess I just found this out like 2 days ago that this might be happening. This band, cool. I should say, might be happening. So that's a big deal. But my favorite, my gateway band into hardcore music, one of my favorite bands of all time, Have Heart. This is Things We Carry. This is not coming up for, well, I guess technically it can be an anniversary coming up, but 04 is when their first EP comes out, and then the What Counts EP comes out. So that's the 20 year of the band. Yeah. So they got back together randomly for a bunch of shows in 19. And what's crazy about that is like I didn't have any perception of this in the moment, but it's the largest hardcore crowd ever. They drew 10,000 people in Boston. That's the largest. That's the largest, including most fests. But for one band, the largest single band hardcore show ever.
Gotcha. Yeah.
And they played a ton over, or the ton. They played to a ton of people over in Europe as well. And like it's crazy how big this band is. And like when I listen to like the hardcore podcast, I've been indulging upon the last week and a half, 2 weeks, whatever. Like there's a lot of reverence for Have Heart because like they were so many people's gateway band. Like this was like the turnstile of the mid to late 2000s. Like they were the bands that like if they would have kept on, they would have gone poppier and whatever that means, and they would have changed their sound and maybe broke through. But they broke up before that ever happened, and they made other bands or whatever. But so supposedly the band might be coming back, even though like Pat made it a whole thing, a whole demonstration for many years, because they broke up in 2009 and 2010. So they waited almost 10 years before ever playing a show. And then Pat always said that they didn't want to be one of those hardcore bands that would get back together every year or do a 30 last shows or whatever, right? So I don't know, we'll see. But his handle on Instagram has changed to Have Heart BHC, I think it is.
Ooh.
And it was Pat Flynn, it was his personal, and then he changed over to a Have Heart official band Instagram. Which why would you do that? Why would you do that and that was very recent, within the last like month and a half or so. So why would you do that if the band's dead?
I don't know. That'd be weird.
They also, their merch and everything else also just prints money. So like, it's crazy. This band is, I didn't know how big they were for a lot of people, but they were big for me. So yeah, love it. Have Heart, 20 years next year. Let's do it.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you see Paramore? Like all their social media is gone.
Oh, really?
I guess I guess they're out of their contract with whatever label they're on. And I guess that what I read is the label ran all their social media. So all of it is deleted. Like all of it got wiped.
That's real wild.
That's the rumor. And they did, I think Haley or somebody posted like we're free or something. So that's how people are tying things together.
Yeah.
So like if they want to do social media shit, they either got to do it themselves or pay somebody again or sign a new contract, I guess, with a different label or some shit. I don't know. I was like, oh, that's interesting. I never really thought of it like that, but
I knew there was over because I saw an interview with Haley and I think Zach, and they were talking about how like they don't know what they're going to do with their next sound or whatever. Like we're out of their contract, we don't know what we're going to explore, where we're going to be at. So like they were talking about it. That's really wild. If the label truly like deleted all their shit, like that
it's all
real
wiped.
Vindictive.
It's all wiped. So I don't. If it might not be the label, but that's the rumor. That's the rumor that the label ran all that shit. So now they don't have the contract, so they're not running it anymore. So it's just all wiped. It's all.
They could have been a band that I wish I mean, I wish they would do a Riot tour. That's my favorite record they ever did.
Yeah.
That's not a lot of people's favorite record, but that's my favorite record they ever did. So that'd be a cool thing to see them do, which I mean, they could do it, but
yeah. And we could do this
crazy.
again. There's a lot of them. Yeah. Obviously we didn't even talk about. So
yeah, I could do this. We do this every week and really not run out for quite a while. Yeah, because like we're just picking our favorite records by a lot of our favorite bands.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah.
Yeah, and obviously the majority of them too you haven't seen. So
yeah, that's true.
Just by sheer numbers. So
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
This is a fun one. I dig it.
You opened up 2 gateways. Gateway bands would be a good topic.
Ooh, that's true. Yeah.
Like your gateway bands or your favorite gateway bands, because I never really got rid of my gateway bands. Like a lot of the gateway bands I still enjoy, and I don't like. A lot of people get rid of them. Like I don't want.
Yeah.
That's when I used to listen to Linkin Park. I don't listen to that shit anymore. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So.
Well, your gateway is what's it going to be? It's going to be AC/DC.
Yeah, I would say AC/DC is definitely a great gateway band. Linkin Park is a great gateway band.
Slipknot.
Slipknot's a great gateway band.
Metallica, obviously.
Metallica at a certain point, yeah.
Yeah.
I would say, I mean, you kind of get so big, you kind of become a gateway band. Like I imagine some people think Slayer is a gateway band.
Yeah.
Just because you can get so much heavier than Slayer, obviously.
For sure.
There's gateway black, like Mayhem. That's day one black metal shit. I love Mayhem. You know, yeah, that's a good topic. I think you could even say like Zeppelin or the Beatles. They're a gateway band. You know, just
for sure.
Music.
I think Ghost is going to be a gateway band, or if it's not already, sure. Right?
Yeah. Oh, they definitely are. Yeah. That'd be a fun topic to do.
Yeah, I think that. I mean, yeah, like the biggest bands, like if it's a record that your sister's gonna buy, that's a gateway band. Like, I'm sorry, but it is.
It'd be interesting to know like your gateway bands and also the gateway bands that have stuck with you.
Yeah.
Like, and even or those bands that are gateway band, but you only like that one record. Like I would say like Godsmack's a gateway band for me, but I only like that first record.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because
there's a lot of those like early mid 2000s bands that I feel like a Killswitch could be a gateway band, right?
1000%, yeah. But I still like Killswitch.
Yeah.
I would say Trivium, definitely a gateway band for a lot of kids.
Anything that's been on the radio, right? So Volbeat could be a gateway band. Like,
thing about those bands though too is they like Matt from Trivium. Like Matt would wear like Dark Throne shirts and shit. So like kids would be like, what the fuck is that?
Yeah.
So even though Dark Throne is like a gateway black metal band, but Trivium's way more accessible than Dark Throne. So
for sure.
When you go, what the fuck is that? Like those gateway bands led you into deeper shit, like 99% of the time.
Well, it's like when well, I don't know. These are bad examples because they're the biggest like songs, but like Disturbed doing like Sound of Silence. I don't know if that's going to make you listen to Simon and Garfunkel, but that'll give you something there, I guess. Like Metallica doing a lot of those, like a lot of Garage Days, obviously all the covers. Like those are big, like into entries into those bands that they covered, and then whatever else the sound is, you know,
for sure.
Like that's just what it is.
I would imagine Metallica was a big gateway band to get into like Misfits, which is another gateway band. But I imagine like there's that also, Merciful Fate, that they got people, which I probably wouldn't say Merciful Fate's a gateway band, but I would say Metallica did that for them. So that's an interesting topic. Talk about your gateway bands or just gateway bands in general, and like maybe bands you got into from those gateway bands.
For sure. I mean, I never got rid of any of mine. I don't think I'm really, because neither of us are embarrassed by anything we ever listened to, really, or we listen to now. So like, really, it's just I think our gateway bands are still like a semi-priority for both of us, right?
Yeah, I mean there is those bands though that I liked, where like Linkin Park, I like Hybrid 3 and Meteora.
Yeah,
those are my albums. I never really gave a shit about the rest of it. I never went back and tried to even listen to the rest of it. Godsmack. I like the first album.
Yeah.
So like those are the gateway bands where I didn't necessarily abandon. Like I still will listen to those records.
You didn't advance with them.
But I didn't advance. So is that abandonment? I don't know. Did I advance too far? I don't know.
I don't know, man. Yeah, like because then is it the band or is it the record? Right?
What do you mean?
Like the band made the record, obviously, but if that sound is the only one that you like, because the next record's different or whatever the case is, right? Like, is it the band or the sound at that point, or like the record?
Well,
like,
I would say in the case of Godsmack, because all their records are the fucking same. I would just say like that first record is the best. It's from what I know, anyway. Yeah. Like there's like the last 5 records I've probably never even heard a song. But
apologies to our resident smackheads out there. Apologies,
smackheads
or smackies.
The smackies. What do we call them? What are we gonna call ourselves? The smackies. The smacky fan club. I mean, that's nothing against them. Whatever. Who cares? But my point is, like, I just think there is certain bands where it's like, I'll go back to that one record, but I have no desire to go back. And they are certainly a gateway band, but I have no desire to go back and listen to anything else.
Yeah.
But I don't even know. I don't even know. Is Linkin Park a gateway band? Because I didn't get into anything based off Linkin Park. I think they're a gateway band for some people to get into like more heavier rock, I guess. Especially the first 2 albums, because they got way poppy towards the end. But I never was like, because Linkin Park was at the end of all that shit. Like I consider Korn more of a gateway band.
No, yeah,
Korn leads you to branch off, or Linkin Park or whatever, to different branches of nu metal.
Cold Chamber, Deftones, like whatever you're doing, Like,
but like, let's say like Rammstein, they're a giant fucking band.
Yeah,
nobody really else sounds like them. There's industrial bands, but they are them. Yeah. So they're popular, but does popular mean gateway?
Yeah,
it's an interesting topic. For another time.
We go forever on that one, honestly. And it's like philosophical, and then it's like, well, would you have never found that band if it wasn't for this band, whatever, right? Like it's a lot of that stuff. Like,
no, I mean, there's a lot of bands that I could talk about. Like, I might not have like getting into Trivium and like seeing Matt wearing a Dark Throne shirt. It's like, even though I didn't immediately go check out Dark Throne, it's like, oh, Dark Throne. What is that? That's a weird shirt. You
knew he co-signed it on some way, shape, or form.
Exactly. So like it's like it's leading you down that road. So it's an interesting topic. We'll maybe do that in the future here. I think next week we're gonna do pickups. I think I need to rock these out before they stack up too high.
Hell yeah. Got a massive stack over here.
Before it's an 8-hour episode. So anyways, guys, if you made it this far, hit the like button, subscribe, leave some comments down below. What are some live albums you'd like to hear in their entirety? Also, give us some opening questions. So, we've been keeping that tradition going on the channel. We're inching towards 500 subs for next year. We're almost at 160. So yeah, we're cooking now. Once you get past the first 100, I told you.
Yeah, 340, we got to come at you pretty quickly here. And like I said, once at 500, we're starting a feud.
Yeah, we'll start a feud, and we'll do it live. We'll do a live stream starting of the feud.
Yeah, so and if need be, we can take it to Tennessee Backyard Wrestling.
Wow. Travel.
TBW.
Get booked.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I don't think it afford us.
we might have to do it ourselves. We will take the feud to TBW. Okay.
Not bumping in that ring for free, dude.
Shout out the Prophet. Shout out to other guy.
The Prophet. Alrighty, this is going off the rails. Let's get out of here. Hit the like button, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. It helps the channel out. We'll see you next time, guys, on Living Deadwax Podcast. Peace.